right, esteemed faculty and students, please be seated. Well, good afternoon. My name is Matt Auer. I'm the Dean of the School of Public and International Affairs at the University of Georgia, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our SPIA Convocation. Graduates, please pull out your bingo cards. How many times today will you hear the words, congratulations? But this one is the most important because it comes from a local source. It comes from SPIA, the burning heart of your UGA experience. You earned your degree in one of the great gems in the crown of the University of Georgia, and now you wear that crown. You earned it. Congratulations. For the first time in the history of SPIA, we're celebrating the milestone achievements of undergraduate and graduate students in a single ceremony. Our platform party includes a group that could not be prouder as they look out and see their students. They are the incredible faculty of the School of Public and International Affairs. Will you join me in welcoming them? And near me are more distinguished members of our platform party. Among them is Taylor Murray, who serves as the chair of the SPIA Alumni Board of Directors. Taylor is Senior Manager of Government Relations for Ecolab Incorporated, the global leader in water, hygiene, and infection prevention technologies and services that protect people and natural resources. Taylor also served as a staffer to two Georgia governors, Brian Kemp and Nathan Deal. For Governor Kemp, he served as the principal advisor on legislative and policy issues in the areas of tax, economic development, community affairs, and finance. Taylor received a BA in political science from the University of Georgia. Please join me in welcoming Taylor Murray.
Thank you, Dean. It's a full circle moment for me. As I noticed earlier, I put on the tie that I wore to my graduation in 2017. So glad I've been able to keep it clean. This is my Georgia tie. Thank you for the kind introduction, Dean Auer, and good afternoon to you all. Before I turn my remarks to these fine graduates sitting here, I'd like to make note of those of you who are here in the crowd supporting these graduates. Whether family, friend, spouse, or peer, your presence here indicates a vested interest in the success and well-being of these students that aided them in getting them to where they are today. Please offer your friends and family a round of applause, students. Similarly, I'd be remiss if I didn't highlight the SPIA faculty and staff who have worked diligently day in and day out to prepare you all to excel and leave a meaningful impact on an ever-changing world. And I mean, what other school at UGA can claim the amount of celebrity-like staff that we have at SPIA? Graduates, as the chairman of the SPIA Alumni Board, it's my distinct pleasure to be one of the first to confer upon you the title of alumni. As we all learned in our SPIA coursework at some time or another, it's often best to rely on the wisdom of great scholars to support your position. As such, I'd like to paraphrase a quote from one of the finest scholars to ever grace University of Georgia's campus, Louis Grizzard. Some of you might not know who Louis Grizzard is because he died before I was born, obviously well before you were, but your parents might. So Louis Grizzard was once known for thanking his higher power for three things: fried chicken, potato salad, and for the privilege of being a Georgia Bulldog. In true Southern fashion, he goes on to ask a blessing on all those not as fortunate as us. Today you join us as those fortunate alumni that spent some 4-ish years in what might be the greatest city on planet Earth, Athens, Georgia. And you had the dual benefit of getting a degree out of it, and you specifically 2 national championships, for which I'm quite jealous. Go Dogs. As you embark upon your journey into the working world, we ask that you call on your fellow Dog alumni for support should you find yourself in need. We also ask that you stay involved and pour back into the SPIA student body in the years to come the way our alumni might have poured back into you. Ryan Leonard on the SPIA staff, if you haven't met him, will be happy to point you to these opportunities if he hasn't already emailed you. He's pretty quick. Graduates of the class of 2025, congratulations on this accomplishment, and know that there are thousands of your fellow alumni here cheering you on. One final request of you: don't hurry through today. Cherish every moment. Take the time to celebrate with family, friends, and your fellow students. Stroll through the art for the first time without the bad juju. Stay out on North Campus way too late. I know I did. And in true Grizzard fashion, maybe offer up a lamentation for all those not lucky enough to be Georgia Bulldogs. Faculty, family, and friends of these graduates, please join me in a round of applause for these newly minted SPIA graduates. How about these dogs?
Thank you so much, Taylor. It's now my pleasure to introduce our student speaker. Caleb Bo Bagley was raised in Alma, Georgia, where a deep connection to community shaped his pursuit of public service. Today, he graduates with a Master of Public Administration with specializations in local government administration and public policy, building on a BS in rural community development from Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. While at UGA, Bo served as president of Georgia Students for Public Administration, vice president of the ICMA student chapter, and a teaching assistant for American government. Bo's professional experience spans local government, nonprofit leadership, and civic education. This fall, he will attend Mercer University School of Law. Please join me in welcoming Bo Bagley.
Well, we did it. Let's have a round of applause for that. Good afternoon to our faculty, staff, families, and to the SPIA class of 2025. Thank you. I'm honored to stand here today, shoulder to shoulder, with some of the most thoughtful, driven, and quietly courageous people I've ever known. When I came to SPIA, I brought with me a deep sense of place. A rural upbringing where public service wasn't tied to a title. It was your neighbor showing up after a storm, a church fundraiser for a family in need. Government, back then, felt far away. Something that happened to you, not something you were a part of. But I came here believing it did not have to be this way. And now, standing on the other side of this degree, I believe it even more. Over the past few years, we've studied policy, power, institutions, and most importantly, people. We've debated equity and efficiency, budgets and ethics, statecraft and street-level bureaucracy. But beneath all of that, something deeper has taken shape, a calling. And I don't use that word lightly. We're graduating into a moment where it's easier than ever to be complacent, to blend in, to stay in the background while institutions drift, divisions deepen, and the urgent becomes familiar. It's easier to wait until we're more prepared to feel that way. Easier to think someone else will speak up. Easier to believe the system will just keep moving along with or without us. But easier does not mean better, and silence is not neutral. I believe the class of 2025 is being called to something more, not in an abstract, idealistic sense, but in a real personal decision each of us must make. Will we settle into the background Or will we step into this next chapter with clarity, compassion, and courage? Our degrees come with a responsibility that's bigger than any one job title: to choose conviction over comfort, to lead not because it's convenient, but because we cannot afford not to. Conviction is not the loudest voice in the room. It's the steady one. It's the moment you speak up when no one else will. Conviction doesn't always get applause. It doesn't always make headlines. But it's what makes public service more than a profession. It makes it a purpose. SPIA didn't give us all the answers, but it gave us something more lasting: a foundation, a framework for better asking questions, and the tools to follow those questions with action. Throughout my time here, I've served in city governments, nonprofits, I've mentored students, led field trips, drafted proposals, and written a dozen policy memos. But what I keep coming back to this, the thread running through all of it: our education means nothing if we don't use it for others. Policy is never just policy. It is people, it is pain, it is possibility. And now we carry this understanding with us. Some of us will go into government, others into advocacy, law, or academia. Some will take time to figure it out, and that's okay. What matters is how we carry this education into whatever comes next. So as we leave this arena, whatever path we take, let me offer this. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to step forward. Conviction is what keeps us honest, what keeps us human, and what keeps public service from becoming just another job. We are graduating at a time when democracy feels fragile, when trust in institutions are low, and attention spans are short. But we are also graduating at a time filled with potential, because now, more than ever, this work matters. So I say to each of you, don't wait to feel ready, don't wait for permission. You are more capable, more equipped, and more powerful than you know, not because of your degree, but because of what you bring to it: your lived experience, your story, your values. No, again, we won't have all the answers, but we have the capacity to ask the right questions if we carry conviction. To close, I turn to the words of a fellow Georgian whose life exemplified the quiet strength of conviction in public service. The late President Jimmy Carter once said, "We must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles." Principles like justice, fairness, and human dignity must be more than ideas we admire. They must be commitments we live by. And their protection, it depends on our courage, on our presence, on our willingness to act, especially when it's uncomfortable. Class of 2025, let's be the ones who show up. Let's lead with conviction. And in every room we enter, let's show the world that principle still leads. Thank you and congratulations.
Bo, thank you for those words of conviction. That was really inspiring. Thank you. Now I am delighted to introduce our Convocation speaker, Sandra Garcia. Sandra Garcia is the Director for National Security Threats and Trends for Strategic Policy in the Office of Terrorist Financing and Financial Crimes at the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Sandra leads a team that develops policies and strategies to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and the financing of weapons of mass destruction. Sandra has overseen the development of the National Illicit Finance Strategy and National Risk Assessments for money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing since 2018. She is a member of the U.S. delegation to the Financial Action Task Force and the U.S. representative to the Policy Development Group of that task force. She previously was a senior policy advisor in the Office of Terrorist Financing and Financial Crimes, leading or contributing to various U.S. government illicit finance assessments and reports. Sandra began her career at the Treasury in the Office of Foreign Assets Control. Prior to joining Treasury, she worked in the private sector as a political and financial analyst. She holds a JD from Catholic University's Columbus School of Law and a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Georgia. Sandra serves on the SPIA Board of Visitors. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Sandra Garcia.
Thank you, Dean Auer. Graduates, families, friends, and distinguished faculty, as I look across this impressive group of undergraduates, graduate students, and doctoral students, I am honored to be here with you today, to be one of the first to offer my congratulations to you and your achievements. Graduation is always an exciting time, and I want to impress upon you the great confidence we all have in your skills, in who you are, and what you have learned. As you graduate this spring day in Athens, the American system of government that you have spent the past few years studying is undergoing a historic transformation. You are not the first set of graduates, nor the last, who will graduate in a time of political transformation. You may or may not agree with some of the decisions about what the role and function of government should be, but here is my first observation. You have an opportunity to shape government and public service as it undergoes this transformation. Please take it. Many of you chose to study political science, international affairs, American politics, and public administration with the goal of putting that knowledge and those skills into service for your community, state, and country. If to you that means a leaner government, take the opportunity now to work to right-size the government. If you think an essential function or service is missing, take the opportunity now to bring it back or find an alternative solution to provide that service. If you think our nation simply needs newer and younger leadership, take the opportunity now and run for office yourself. My second observation is that smart and well-intentioned people can have differences of opinion. Having worked in both the private sector and now for 4 different presidential administrations, I can tell you that you will never agree with every decision made by your peers, your bosses, or our elected leaders. Even those leaders that you believe in and champion will make decisions different than you would. That is a feature. That is not a bug of working in the public interest. Listen, ask questions, learn, and be civil even if you disagree. When you bring well-reasoned arguments and kindness, I have found you have the power to change hearts and minds, and sometimes you may also find that you change your own mind. No matter what your role is, your job serving in the public interest is to gather the best information available, acknowledge information or intelligence gaps, and make recommendations or decisions with the goal of making our nation, our state, or your community better and safer. That brings me to my third observation. You have a leg up, having earned your degree from this institution. I can speak from experience as a fellow graduate and tell you that SPIA has prepared you well for life after today. And those professors, friends, and mentors that you shared our halls and classrooms with are going to be a part of the reason you all will be such a great success. Everyone in this room recognizes that there are many paths to public service, and it is often not a straight path. It took me 3 years working in the private sector, volunteering with nonprofit organizations and campaigns before landing my first paying job in foreign affairs. Others come to public service after 5 or 10 years or a lifetime in another profession. No matter where you go next, into the private sector or enter public service or go on to your next degree, remember, you have learned the building blocks for making good decisions in your SPIA classes from some of the best minds in the country and the world. And today, you are now part of a lifelong Bulldog and SPIA network. If you haven't already experienced it, when you leave Athens or the state of Georgia, UGA alumni and friends will be looking everywhere to give you a Go Dogs shout and provide mentorship and open doors for you. That is who we at SPIA are. We are a community of graduates that are talented, motivated, and looking out for each other. I hope you will enjoy being a SPIA alumni almost as much as you enjoyed our back-to-back national championships. Well, maybe not that much, but pretty close. Finally, as you embark on the next step of your life, keep an open mind to all the opportunities and the friendships you will make that will help you along the way. Again, we are all rooting for each and every one of you and all the great things you will achieve. Go Dogs, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Thank you so much for hitting the mark with those remarks, Sandra. Well, before we begin, a few additional words. I would like to recognize and remember a member of our SPIA community. David Mullins from Albany, Georgia, was an incoming first year who had plans to major in political science. If you would, please join me in a moment of silence to remember David, who passed away about a year ago today. Thank you. Well, the challenge for us now is to recognize graduates from 8 degree programs in one setting. We will do so respectfully but efficiently. Franklin Delano Roosevelt famously said, "Be sincere, be brief, be seated." Fair enough, but here's some key summative data points for you to think about. More than 300 SPIA seniors are graduating from the University of Georgia this spring and summer. As a group, they are set to earn over 300 majors. So think about that for a second. 300 SPIA seniors, 500 majors. It requires a little bit of a mental leap. But it means that these students are ambitious and smart. More than 60% of our candidates are on track to earn Latin honors, cum laude, magna cum laude, etc. That's amazing. We have a dozen first honor graduate candidates. 4 of our students are Fulbright scholars. Add to that a Beinecke scholar, a Rangel scholar, a Truman scholar, a Scoville scholar. We are like a top-tier standalone college all by ourselves. And by that, I mean a top-tier institution in the United States. We have around 90 graduate students earning degrees this week. People come far and wide to be a SPIA graduate student. From France, Russia, South Korea, China, Indonesia, Colombia, Peru, Brazil. Several of our graduates will be working in the trade and customs area to keep weapons of mass destruction out of international trade. That should make you happy, Sandra. One is headed to Philadelphia to promote commerce efforts in that city. Another is becoming a professor down the road at Emory. Several are headed to law school. I know many of these students, and I've got good news. They are poised to make all of us better off. They are ready for this moment. 3 ingredients have made that possible: the training that they received here, the values that you all nurtured in them as family members and friends, and last but not least, their own publicly minded, civically oriented compass. We need their leadership more than ever. I salute you, class of 2025, and I'm thrilled that all of you are joining all of us on a journey of public value and public service. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Ed Kello, Chair of the Department of Public Administration and Policy at SPIA, who will kick off recognition of each of our graduating students.
Thank you, Dean Auer. Good afternoon. My name is Ed Kello. I'm the chair of the Department of Public Administration and Policy. It is my honor to first present our candidate for Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration and Policy, Alejandra Rodas Gator. Caleb Jordan Bagley. Now, it is my honor to introduce the recipients of the degree Master of Public Administration. Mukhtar Ayavu. Stella Babb. Tyler Genesis Benson. Caleb Bird. Winona Culpepper. Emmanuel Eden. Ani King. Gemma Morton. Cole Morton. Christy Nakayama Okimoto. Alicia Crystalia Pelu Pacey. Aisatu Della Sabara. Whoa. Card. Michael Saravia. Naria Silva. Emily Willard. Kip Mullis. All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Joshua Massey. I'm the director of SPIA's Master of International Policy program. It is my honor to present the 2025 Master of International Policy graduates. Kristen Budsberg. Nicholas Cosby. Vanessa DeRosier. Mallory Lawrence. Patrick Limberg. Michael Matthews. Brooke Sanders. Sasha Scott. Paul Smith. Lou Vidal. Kaylee Walker. Cole Zaleski. Josh Friedman.
Good afternoon. My name is John Maltese. I'm the Associate Dean for the School of Public and International Affairs. It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Master of Arts in Political Science and International Affairs. Wesley Bagwell. Peter Ross Griffith.
So my name is Paul Welch. I'm Director of Student Affairs in the School of Public and International Affairs. It's my pleasure to introduce the candidates for graduation in the School of Public and International Affairs for undergraduate degrees. That's right. Bring it. Aisha Abraham. Mark Anthony Adams. Second Lieutenant Sean Adams, United States Army. Allison Adcock. Finley Josephine Rivers, AU. Angel Akintoye. John Amabil. Lauren Anderson. Owen Anderson. Julia Andrews. Carson Ainkinney. Jessica Armour. Will Alt. Halimata Ba. Benjamin Bailey. Brandon Bayman. Daniel Bartow. Gia Bustawade. Ivy Barr. Natalie Bhavani. UGA's 23rd Truman Scarter, Mercedes Bings. Lauren Nicole Bigda. Isabel Bland. Gerard Edgar Bordeaux IV. Francis Brantley. Franco Bravo. Madeline Broom. Dylan Brown. Mackenzie Buck. Adam Bumeyer. William Harrison Burns. Kiana Bussa. Joe Bynum IV. Nancy Caldwell. Rebecca Jordan Calhoun. Gabrielle Patrice Chan. Melanie Chan. Ansley Cheeves. Brooke Catherine Cheney. Nubria Chikaka. Anya Elizabeth Chin. Inso Cho. Unwa Choi. Nice look. Jaden Clark. Valerie Cobb. Sarah Cohen. Jenna Catherine Cole. Nicole Collier. Christian Barrett Conte. Hannah Cook. Caroline Cooper. Tyler Cox. Nora Crawford. Sellers Crisp. Abigail Crow. Paulina Delgado. Caroline Durrell. Nisa Dotson. Alex Drehos. Reagan Ducey. Johnny Dwyer. Kelsey Dyer. First honor graduate Ken Mabry Eisenfeld. Ernesto Espinoza III. Madeline Fackler. Lottie Fashabon. Maddox Fennell. Riley Elizabeth Finneran. Chloe Finster. Andrew Crosby Filden. Julia Flynn. Aaron Forrester. Julian Fortuna. Caitlin Caitlin Foster. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you too. First honor graduate Jackson Fountain. Lauren Fouts. Stefania Fuyeda. Jacob Funk Shepard. Cooper Monroe Furman. Stephanie Gauna. Kylie Gale. Kijana George. Simon Gersten. Thank you. Patricia Alba Gilvery. Anna Gerard. Eric Wood. Maheen Gonela. William Gonzalez. Caitlin Gower. Cecilia Grandea. Catherine Ziff Green. Jerusalem Elias Greenberg. Elizabeth Louise Griffin. And one person here who does know who Louis Grizzard is, Catherine Grizzard. Lynn Gaua. Layla Zelma Habib. Second Lieutenant Catherine Haggerty, United States Army. Hartley Madeline Haynes. Second Lieutenant Caroline Campbell Hare, United States Army. Juliana Hartley. Matthew Harvey. Wilson Hadaway. Jake Hayes. First honor graduate, Nicholas Heiniger. Grace Ellen Henson. Thank you. Tyra Hill. Lauren Hinton. Leela Grisham Hooper. Charlotte Huck. Maisie Hufford. Oh, hey. Evelyn Hunter. Jacob Eichard. Yasmina Iswasi Collado. Antoinette James. Edmund Walker Johnson. Hindley Stockton Jones. Trey Jones. Reed Jones. Sarah Charlotte Joyce. Aiden Kaba. Ali Muhammad Kareem Kassam. Thank you, Grace. Good to see you. Grace Margaret Kazak. Ben Keating. A first honor graduate, Mayuk Kilar. Laura Kelly. Olivia Kelly. Jacqueline Elaine Kerr. Olivia Kiley. Melanie Kim. Bobby Kincaid. Addison Wrigley Kaiser. Bowen Kramer. Catherine Kress. Alexandria Lauren Lavender. Nikki Lazaro. Jessica Lay. Second Lieutenant Ji Hyun Lee, United States Air Force. Mark Carlton Leroy. Abby Leoy. Darren Liu. Brittany Lopez. Grace Elizabeth Lorries. Larissa Alves Lozano. Gabriela Machado Mota. Sean Manning. William Thomas Mason. Bailey Maddox. Andrew Marr. John McCloskey. Michael McElroy. Ethan McGee. Liam Reed McGibney. Maggie McInerney. Mary McNulty. Rida Mihal. Anvika Vivek Menon. William Minch. Elizabeth Mercer. Noah Mills. Molly Mullinax. Ariana Cantillo. Megan Mundy. First honor graduate, Andre Elliott Mayette. Anissa Njay. Judith Faith Newby. Elizabeth Lane Noble. Luke Dyer Noland. Amanda Joy Oching. Delia O'Farrell. Alex Ondick. Kyler Parker. Devi Patel. First honor graduate, Kanika Patel. Krishna Caitlin Patel. Sydney Pinnock. Claire Petcash. William Benjamin Powell. Joseph Quinn. Sadie Mead Race. Sophie Radke. Anna Rakovi. Sarah Grace Reeves. Josie Delilah Renner. First honor graduate, Sloan Sandra Rice. Benjamin Rush. Tiana Rotham. Anitesh Sandhu. Britton Sieber. Micah Shannon. Keely Rose Shike. Zoe Shepard. There he is. Second Lieutenant Cutler Shiver, United States Air Force. Miral Siddiqui. Thomas Kelly Smith, Jr. Jessica Sobieski. Nyla Oksina Souffrant. Matthew Spence. Colin Stanley. Blaine Steiner. David Wallace Stover III. Anastasia Stoyanov. Summer Stuckey. Isabella Sucre Pardo. Maria Suggs. Clay Somerville. Kristen Julene Calvo Titano. Elizabeth Gray Taylor. Nia Nicole Chaikoff. Emily Christine Terry. Zachary Toman. James Thornton. Zoe Tilley. Harani Terumala. Braden Titus. Alicia Torres. Luke Tran. Ryan Trantham. Addison Tyler. Charles Bell Upshaw IV. Leah Vasquez. John Vaught. Jerry Velasquez. Francesca Verchesi. Morgan Vika. Chase Wimbrick Walker. Nicole Ann Cortez Walker. Gracie Wallace. Haley Wallace. Maya Ward. Reese Warta. Alexander Saxton Watkins. Catherine Wethington. Ryan Weeks. Anna Lindsay Weinman. First honor graduate, Caroline Weiss. Jennifer Wythe. First honor graduate, Anna Catherine Whaley. Yeah, I got you. Virginia Ruth Williams. John Williford. Robert James Whitwer. Oh my goodness. Lydia Wong. Sarah Jean Wright. Lucy Ann Wiley. Bria Young. Jason Steven Zelaya. Casey O'Reilly. Malia Dubose. Sarah Side. Cole Rogers. Sarah Janikova. Naomi Alexis Dorcas Nurse. Dean Hour, that's the class of 2025.
It is so tempting for me to tell you to move the tassels to the other side of your mortar board. However, I can't do that. So it's not really official, but it will be soon, my friends. I will see you tonight at commencement, and President Moorhead will order you to do that. But I really can't wait. It's very tempting. It's so exciting to see you graduate. I'm thrilled. And what's more, literally surrounding our graduates, our friends and family, it's like their arms are wrapping you in the support and love that they've always had for you. So I'm moved by that. So thank you, family. Graduates, as you leave the arena today, Gate 1, please be sure to pick up a SPIA pint glass as a small token of our congratulations. Yep. Now, the pint glass, in my experience, is suitable for beverages like iced tea and lemonade. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank everyone who has joined us online. I will see you guys in a few hours. Be safe until then. Thank you. And to our staff who made this all happen today at Aikens Ford Arena, there are too many to mention, but I do want to give a special thank you to Lauren Ledbetter, wherever she is. There she is. She has done a masterful job. Thank you, Lauren. Be well.